Alrighty, I think everything is set up. Always gotta make sure at the start of a stream. I think we're good. Alright, let's not waste any time. Let's jump back into our Araxxor grind here. Let's gear up. Do need to swap spell books and the runes in my rune pouch. Also, I do want this surge pot to be a 3 dose. Thank you very much. It is time to continue where we last left off, and that was in the middle of an Araxxor task. We still have 165 left on task, so we're going to have to chip away at this. Hopefully we get our third and final Noxious Halberd piece. POA's teleport first. And of course, we are now back to multi-logging, playing on both accounts at the same time. Still working on thieving here. We are now 81 thieving. Hit that pretty recently, actually, so it's going to be a little bit before we get to 82. Good luck, good luck. It's crazy you haven't completed one yet. Gotta love RNG. Yeah, I mean, I think we're due to like complete at least one, right? Like, if not, like on our way to like our second one, if anything, because I believe it's like a one in. Oops, just entered and left. It's like a 1 in 200 to see a halberd piece. I think it is what it is, though. You know, RNG is gonna RNG. That's how it be. Like sometimes. All right, first of the day. Oh, let's get Death Charge going. Our Thrall is already summoned. I've convinced myself that within this task, I don't know how much we're going to get done today. Like, I could, you know, really sesh it out and actually do the whole thing. That would take up most of the day, though, I think. Like, at least, like, 4 hours. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to finish the task today or not, but I do feel like we are going to get the piece within this task, surely, right? Let's get rid of the mirror back. First KC of the session. We do have a 1 KD though right now, you know. Haven't planked to Araxxor yet. Here we go, 45 Earth Orbs. Again, you know, Earth Orbs by themselves, like, not very interesting. It's like, it's not worth much GP when you look at the high out value here at 8.1k. I would need to make them into the Earth Battle Staff for it to be worth anything. Let's make sure we have Death Charge going at all times. Resummon our Thrall. A few side swings here, and then this white egg. But yeah, you know, it is a bit more motivating to be 2 out of 3 pieces now, knowing that the next one is going to get us full halberd. I would like to get a second halberd eventually, though, for my other account at some point, but I don't think that's going to be a top priority. I think once we get one, we're going to move on to the next goal of ours. $15 bark, very exciting, very exciting. Yeah, by now we've done enough Araxxor again to where I'm relatively comfortable. I know where I need to move and everything again. I do, you know, I've always had these tiles marked, but honestly, when I came back, I'm like, I'm not sure what these tiles indicate. Like, no idea at all. We figured it out for the most part, though, I think. Resummon our throne. Oh, wow, that was a massive side swing right there. Yeah, we're doing good to start off today. I mean, sometimes you never know. Like sometimes that first KC especially, just eating damage left and right. Like with anything, doesn't matter the content we're doing. Let's get our super combat on. I was gonna make sure we're potted. Ooh. That was unfortunate timing there. Our death charge just ran out right before we killed that. This is the part where I like to clean it like a walking Araxxor, you know, like walking your dog or something. That's what it looks like. Oh, a little slow on that. Let's open up Enrage phase with a claw. Oh wow, this crept up on me. I guess we were only a few KC away from this little milestone to start out the day. But that's 1200 Araxxor KC. 70 U logs for that. Alright. Yo, good morning, good morning. Yeah, I might have been logged in for like 46 minutes, but like I'm not gonna lie, I think I like AFK'd for like the first 30. Oops, pre-summon our thrall. Yeah, I think now we're officially on rate for 2 Noxious Halberds. Oh! Messed up a little bit there. Went around the Fang, completed 3 Nallies and 1500 KC before you saw the Fang at around 1550. Oof. Obviously, I mean, I think for most people, the Fang is definitely the thing you want here first, right? Because that torture to Rancor upgrade is like pretty massive. I think I went like just ever so slightly over the rate for the Rancor. It was I don't really remember. I have to look it up, but it was like over 600, I'm fairly certain. Maybe in the 700s. Again, I'd have to look it up. I'm not sure, but I just know that I got the first Noxious Halberd piece at like 125. I know that because I looked it up recently. And then, yeah, between that and the eventual Araxxite Fang, those were the only two items I ever pulled. I mean, if you don't account for like the head and stuff, but I mean, that's like whatever. I mean, heck, I guess we're due for a second Fang right now, too, huh? I think, anyways. I mean, if you include the Fang, it's a 1 in 150 to see any drop between the halberd pieces and the Fang itself. Okay, after getting rid of this mirror bag, I am gonna spec here because we got death charge going on, as well as our natural regen, and we were gonna hit 100 there. All right. Had to do a little maneuvering there to proc the red crab properly, but we got it done. I suppose... You know what? Our prayer is sitting at 63 before we even repot. That's pretty high. I think we can do another KC relatively well without too much concern. Just make sure that charge is going. A little bit random, but something I'm actively thinking about today is the fact that I know for a fact for the longest time, like ever since I was pretty much a kid, actually, I would have the word like in my sentences, in my speech, just as a filler word. I think that's a pretty common problem, actually. And even if you don't use the word like, people use different filler words, or they even go, for example, you know, they, and I don't know why, but I'm very mindful of it right now. So I don't know, like I might be speaking a bit slower or something, but I'm actively trying to avoid using the word like, unless you know it's using it properly. But that hasn't been an issue. Not too big of a deal, I don't think, but definitely something that someone might notice. I don't think I do this, but I noticed a lot of people always start off a sentence or some kind of statement with going, in my opinion, or not going to lie. Actually, I have done the not going to lie thing a few times. So what do you mean not gonna lie? Like you have nothing to like. Why do you have to preface that you're not about to lie? Okay, that was actually a pretty decent first trip. That was about 7 KC or so, I think. Oh, I just redefined for honestly no reason. I still had 2 minutes on that first one. Recorded some Eye of Ayak plus Shadow Corporeal Beast. You know, we got Corp Beast. Yeah, just as we were talking about earlier about the pronunciation of things. Almost 8 kills per hour. That's not the most efficient thing ever, and super expensive, but easy. So, wait, so you just spec it down with the Eye of Ayak, and then you camp the Shadow? Spec it down, 150 damage with it. I see, I see. That's only marginally quicker than the traditional spec down method with the BGS and all that, though. And like you said, much more expensive, so perhaps not worth it. But just another method, though, I suppose. Oh, we got ourselves some teleports. You know, to be fair, I think I'm guilty of the Corp Beast pronunciation. But then again, I also mostly just refer to it as Corp. But come on, like ancestral. Who adds like like where's the I from? I don't think that was even the most ridiculous one. There were some truly ridiculous ones. There were some mispronunciations in that Reddit thread that I was truly thinking you should go back to school. Some of those weren't even RuneScape specific words, they were just words. Well, we have 100% spec, might as well use it. 43 health though. My other screen is flashing like no tomorrow. Gotta do some pickpocketing. 4 toad flax seeds, oh boy. Massive one. Scythe is absolutely noodling right now. Oh my goodness, seriously. What's with the lack of damage? This entire fight, honestly. There we go. Last couple of hits there made up for it. 3 Snapdragon Seeds. I don't really recall seeing these too often. The Toadflax ones are pretty common for sure. Oh, we can also search bot, I think. Yep, there we go. Pretty good DPS right there on that one. Some more teleports. It was quite an unfortunate claw spec there. But yeah, I suppose unless something comes up or we just suddenly have another urge to go do something else, we're gonna be camping Araxxor pretty hard right now. Chip away at this task as much as we can. Also, I suppose if we do pull the halberd piece nice and early in this task today, we'll also have to go figure something else out to do, or we can finish the task and maybe spoon a pet, perhaps. I don't know. Didn't really think about that, honestly. Did not plan for the event that we actually do get the Noxious Halberd piece. Which I believe the last piece is the Noxious Pommel. Are all these Yule logs I'm getting even going to be relevant? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm already past the hunter level for the birdhouses on the other account. Got a Thrall and Death Charge going once again. Oh, snap. Scythe, please. The last 50 health took like 4 swings. More cave spider teleports. We got 3 rolls of that on this trip already. Got a repot here for one more KC, but not a very efficient supply usage. Because we essentially just repotted for one more KC. Yeah, I actually like the regular way. I mean, mostly because I still don't have a Void Breaker or any of that is required for the other methods, or like even a Blood Fury or whatever. But yeah, I never minded the original way. It's just a slow thing, you know, and obviously getting the drops from Corp aren't the most game-changing things. Unless they somehow make their shields more relevant somehow, I don't know. But I mean, the same thing happened, or not happened, but the same thing, the same thought process goes into Fasani's. It really wasn't all that relevant until more recently, relatively recently, where they made Crush and like elemental weakness and along with all those things like more relevant. Then Inquisitor's Crush was like, oh, okay, you know what, this is probably important to get. Even then, you know, at the stage of our accounts right now, like we're just now going for those things. I don't think when we started our IRONMAN, we were like, yeah, you know, we're gonna go do Fasani's to get Inquisitors. Like that was not the top of the list. Except the Anti-Venom Plus. Range pot as well. Back we go. I think I said there was 165 left on task today when we first started. So we've done 14 already. In what, 3 trips? My membership on this account is running out very, very soon. I'm probably going to bond it. But then after I bond it, I kind of want to make some GP back because I've been saying for the longest time now, I need to buy back a lot of things on my main. Or not so much buy back a lot of things. I need to buy back the Twisted Bow on my main. But then also buy all this new stuff that has come out over the last few months between Yama and now Mocha. Yeah, I'm sure there's like some other stuff I'm missing. Fast KC? 102. A U seed. 11 KC later, the check-in with 150 left on task. No luck yet. No luck yet. I'm not moving. What am I doing? It's gonna range me or whatever. It's fine. I suppose we should now start thinking about what we're doing immediately after we pull the last Noxious Halberd piece. I may not even finish the task, but what we're gonna do next, or what I want to do next, probably doesn't really require a task, to be honest. I'm likely gonna go to the Void Waker grind if I'm done with the Nox Hally. But the annoying thing about the Wildy Void Waker grind is that I would want for 16 hero, the account currently training thieving, to be a wilderness scout for me. But that's kind of annoying because I do want to just start skilling on it on the side. And then, I mean, another option is to bond my normal account and use that as a wilderness scout. But that's also annoying because imagine bonding an account just for that purpose. And then I suppose the final option is to simply just do the wilderness without a scout. I never one tick banned someone. Actually, I can't even call that somebody in the Twitch chat right there. That was most likely a bot. Surge potion off of cooldown soon. There we go. And down it goes. Open up next case here with the claw spec. They're all expired. Everything's expiring. We got a re-super combat. Yeah, yesterday when we pulled the Noxious Point, I was really confused. Well, whenever you're here at a boss, any boss really, and then you go dry for so long, obviously you know why you're there. You're trying to get the drops. Like when the drop finally happens, it's just like, what? Is this real? Oops. That's not ideal. It's like, did that really just happen? You would think getting spooned a drop is more shocking to you because you don't expect it, right? But it's almost the opposite. When you've been at a place for so long, you're just dry. Oops. That was terrible. $12.16. Prayer situation's not looking good here, so probably the last KC of the trip. Surely we won't need another task just to get one halberd, right? Surely? $12.17. Well, we get a supply drop. Well, I guess we might as well stay for another KC. Because we did get a whole prayer potion. I didn't death charge though. I do have the surge pod available to use. I just put more charges in my site yesterday. I was at 19,800, so I've, somehow, someway, I've already used 1,200 charges on my site. I could go for yet another KC, actually. It's looking good right now. Nope, didn't realize my divine expired. Probably should have banked. Alright, this is the last KC of the trip. Yeah, as fast as killing Araxxor may seem, just a tad bit over 1 minute per KC, because the tasks are so big, it does take a while to finish these, honestly. I mean, heck, we're already on, I think, day 2, right? I think we just picked up this task yesterday. Or the night before that. I'm not sure. I don't really remember. Let's make our way back. So I did post a new video yesterday, which was mostly just a VOD dump of me getting the Grandmaster speedrun time for the Inferno. Now, I fully expected that video to not do well because, you know, like, not everyone's gonna click on a video and watch a 1 hour long VOD of someone doing the Inferno, right? Especially since it's not like some crazy world record-esque thing, but kind of posted that just because I wanted to. But I do wonder if that kind of hurts my channel these days. Because before I didn't really think much of what I put on my channel. But ever since I started the GIM series video, obviously people subscribe for certain reasons, whether that's my top videos or the GIM videos, whatever, right? Basically, I do have somewhat of an audience now. So maybe I have to be more selective on what I upload. Because quite honestly, before I just dumped whatever I felt like on the YouTube channel. But surely, me uploading a video in which I fully expect no one to really watch, and those expectations are actually true based on the stats I'm seeing, that doesn't, like, dissuade people from watching, like, more of the GIM videos, right? I don't know, just thinking out loud here. Maybe this is why people have 2 channels. A lot of people have 2 channels. Obviously, the big creators have multiple channels. But even I've noticed even some small creators have multiple channels where they have one where they're just more loose on what they upload. Imagine having to run a second channel right now. I don't know. But it wouldn't really be running the second channel. It would just be The second one wouldn't have too much like micromanaging with it. It's time to boot up the More Balletti YouTube channel, guys. You know, I do wonder though if you have to sort of treat a YouTube channel like a more I do wonder though, like this is something I thought about and I might as well just kind of ramble on about it a little bit here as we're doing Araxxor. I wonder if we have to approach a YouTube channel as if it was a show, for example. Or is a YouTube channel like a TV network where you might have multiple shows? Like, let's say I started a hardcore, right? The hardcore would be a different series than the GIM videos. Oh yeah, there's the thing too, the Mocha videos, right? But they're also loosely in connection with just my general Iron Man videos, you know, it is progress. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm trying to think about like the channels I subscribe to too, and whatnot. It's like, do I subscribe to their channels for all their content or just one specific thing? I mean, there's differences too, though. Like some people are more based around their personality and themselves as the content, and other people it's definitely more the content of what they're actually doing. Well, let's dump our classmates. It's like there's no way if I started playing a hardcore and started recording a hardcore series that I would upload onto a different channel, right? Like just because I already have an existing series going on here. That wouldn't make sense. Well, I guess a better thing would be like, okay, right now, all my old school RuneScape videos, I could probably upload on this channel if I really wanted to. That would make sense. But like, let's say for example, I've been playing Battlefield 6. I'm probably not going to upload Battlefield 6 videos on this channel. Or, I mean, in the past I would have. But now I'm not so sure. I think that's just like way too different, right? Like it is gaming, but it's like a completely different genre. Someone just rang my doorbell? Who's at my door, bro? What the? 1 second. Well, never mind. It's it's 2025. Like, when was the last time you guys rang a doorbell? Let me know. Like, if you went over to somebody's house or something, like your friend's house or your family member's house, would you be ringing the doorbell? No, you would probably call or text them ahead of time, right? I'm 99% sure that that was just somebody about to try and sell me something. I think because of that, I just feel like anytime my doorbell rings, I'm just like, this is not good news. If they're bad with their phones or like it's around dinner time, maybe they're calling my doorbell. Really? Doorbell rings like 3 times a week, and it's always either solar guys or lawn care guys. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, people gotta do what they gotta do for their jobs and stuff. But I just think like ringing a doorbell is not the move because even if it's like more, maybe if it's not everybody, but definitely the majority of people I find aren't ringing doorbells anymore. And this happens so much so now that anytime I hear my doorbell go off, it's just it's like a negative vibe. Like I don't go like, oh boy, my doorbell just rang. Like what's gonna like wonder who's at the door. It's just like, oh man. Oh, I mean, I suppose there's like one exception. Yeah, like let's say I'm going over to a friend's house and they're hosting a party. Um, so they're fully expecting people to come in, and obviously since it's a party, there's so many people in the house and stuff. Probably wouldn't expect them to have their phone on them 24/7. So in that sense, I could see, like ringing the doorbell, right? When you fully expect people to have over. But yeah, like if I'm just like going to pick up my friend and like we're going out to like eat or something or whatever, like yeah, I wouldn't get out my car and then ring the doorbell. I'd be like, "Hey, I'm outside." And in that sense, it must honestly suck to work as like some sort of salesman, door to door and stuff like that. It must suck to have that job, honestly. Because as much as I understand that it's your job to try and like sell people stuff from door to door, I'm also just not really like I'm not gonna suddenly buy like whatever you're selling, just cause, even if I know like it kind of sucks from your perspective. Also, I'm poor. Also, some of the stuff is like pretty like slimy tactics too. Um, I think I told this story before, but probably not on stream. Not recently, anyways. But a few months ago, I switched internet providers, and so I was fully expecting someone to, come over to my house that day and like, switch things out and whatever ISPs have to do, like install the cables and all that. But what they did was they sent out a sales rep first around the same time as when I expected the technician guy to come in. And the salesman guy showed up under the guise that like he was confirming like my information and making sure like I had like the app set up and all that, right? Not necessary for my like internet and stuff. But naturally, you know, after that, he started trying to sell me all of the other stuff, and I'm like, dude, where's the tech guy to install my internet, bro? Now that was slimy, you know, because the only reason I opened the door for that guy was knowing that he was from the ISP, but he was not the guy installing my internet. Last salesman I talked to at a big box store was younger than me, and he got super mad at me after we chatted for 5 minutes and didn't sign up for the company credit card. Man. Yeah, like, here we are talking about how sales sucks, right? And obviously some people are just doing their jobs, but like, dude, some of the tactics they do and like how annoying they can be, just like no sympathy in that regard. I don't know. It clearly works though, right? Like whenever this topic comes up about people still going door to door and stuff, I'm like, there's no way this works. Like in my head, I'm just thinking, there's no way this works. Like, who does this anymore? Like, who actually buys stuff whenever some dude just shows up to your door, right? But I mean, if they're still doing it, evidently it works, right? Otherwise, they would stop doing it entirely. All right, that was the last of the trip. Did I not use my surge potion on that trip at all? Probably was too busy talking. $134 to go. Six court KC and no sigil drop. Honestly, unbelievable. There's no way this guy's just out here killing these Araxxites like that, right? He's using prayer too. I mean, I guess you kind of have to use prayer. I think these things hit pretty hard. Dang it, I switched. I guess I never actually clicked on rigor, huh? Or maybe I just switched off it too early. Spam click the core. You have to make it jump towards the door, though. Yeah, move west. When it jumps on you, spam click it so you one-shot it, and then you immediately move. You run west. You know, I might be a corp expert, you know, something of a corp expert. Not really, I've done... I have no idea what my KC is, I don't remember. There was that little stretch where I just, like, really wasn't sure what to do in the game, and I was just doing some dailies of sorts. I'd do a Corp KC or two, I'd do a Fasani's KC or two, CG. Yeah, that was when I just straight up didn't have any goals at that point. But I haven't been back to Corp in a while. You know what? I think I got so bored of doing Corp. That was one of the reasons I made the second account. I suppose I could Dolo Corp now. That explosion's gonna do the trick. A whopping 9 damage. Total KC is absolutely racking up now. 1229. Well, that's a good shout by Hosen. Yeah, if it drops ashes, you did it incorrectly. Got our thrall going again? Anybody have any idea when the Mocha CAs are gonna come out? Maybe next week? Or is that still too early? The Yama combat achievements came out super early. Well, I don't know if it came out earlier relatively, but it definitely felt like they came out quick. I think the Yama CAs came out 2 weeks after the initial release, didn't they? We got them done like really early. Search bot. So I do have a ton of demonic tallow, but Yama's the only way of getting those, huh? For the search potions. Alright, Mirrorback came out, but sweet. One big swing to get the job done. Didn't even take any reflect damage. We got our U-Seed. Ooh, and 3 KC here, we're gonna get a 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my. Over the last few days since we started thieving again on the other account, we have now picked up 1,000 of those house keys. Pickpocketing wealthy citizens. And I'm sure we have like another couple of thousand in the bank too. At some point, I'm gonna have to actually do the house portion of this thieving. But as a side, secondary thing to do, just pickpocketing the wealthy citizens is so good. Two magic seeds were rich. Replenishing that stack. Ah, crap. 28? I thought I got out of the way in time. Oh, done goofed. Mud runes? This has got to be pretty rare. Well, there's only 700 mud runes in my loot tracker. Can't remember the last time I pulled mud runes. That genuinely seemed like a new drop to me for a second until I looked over at the loot tracker. What? Where am I going? Okay, I've messed up this specific part back to back. Oh, I did not mean to back myself all the way into this corner. Clicking is difficult, apparently. Yeah, last KC of the trip for sure. Even if I get a supply drop, we just gotta reset here. KC 1, 2, 3, 4. What are we gonna get? 3 teleports. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god, this is so good. The group chat is sending Battlefield 6 memes. Me and some of my friends have been playing the open beta for Battlefield 6. And it's honestly been a lot of fun, even for someone like me that is just absolutely washed on shooter games now. Used to play shooter games a lot more often, but I'm just a RuneScape player now. And even for me, just being so bad at shooter games now, Battlefield 6 has been pretty fun. Also good to game with the boys. Wait, someone was playing Battlefield 6 with the gate with a sim racing wheel, bro. Yeah, that's the rando teammates I get on the game for sure. All makes sense now. I don't think so. Soul Rune Altar is kind of ass in that sense. Oh, can't even finish one. Interesting. When I entered the room, but I didn't clear the chat message, that still accounted for the time for Araxxor to spawn. So I was super late there because I was trying to type. Oh, a little bit more of the random rambling about my channel. I wonder now if I decide to stream a random game. Should I only stream it on Twitch? Because if I stream it on YouTube, there's the whole, oh yeah, OSRS content. Oh, that's not OSRS content, Yeah, basically, if you're listening to this ramble, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm making videos, uploading them every week. Other than that, I kind of don't have a game plan. More teleports? Should start using those, honestly. Yeah, if I get motivated to make some videos and content on other things, I unironically may have to make a more Baletti channel. Max Claw. Gotta get rid of this guy. Oh, that charge was not up. That's unfortunate. Here it is. Here comes the noxious halberd piece. Boom. 2 rune cudgels. And into position. Oh, I guess we can search bot. Oh, okay. I thought that was the Araxxor Fang for a second there, but we got the Noxious Pommel. KC 1238. Let's get out of here real quick. Open up the collection log. But that is the Noxious Halberd completed. 1238. Finally. Okay, the only thing remaining on this collection log to green log it is the pet itself, which I've talked about several times in the past over the course of this grind. I don't know if I could bring myself to destroy the loot for better pet chances. I don't know. But I don't really want the pet or the Rancor S right now anyways, so I think we're going to be moving on to another grind. Well, before that, I guess, let's go ahead and make our Noxious Halberd. I'm not even sure how you do that. Maybe you just combine the pieces? Thank you, thank you. Alright, into the bank, let's just search for all our Noxious Halberd pieces. The point we got pretty recently, and this blade has actually been sitting in the bank for probably over a year at this point. Okay, now that we have all 3 pieces, I'm assuming we just used them on each other. Do you wish to combine all 3 pieces to create a Noxious Halberd? This process is non-reversible. Yes. Oh, just like that. Oh, a little bit of crafting and smithing EXP. There it is. Very nice, very nice. This is going to be really, really useful for us to do Melee Inferno. I think it's going to help out in the Coliseum as well. And maybe at some other locations that I can't think of right now. But those 2 things for sure for the combat achievements on our way to Grandmaster. Someone's asking when I got the Fang. You know what? I might as well figure that out right now. Araxxor Fang, I got the nice at Corp. Is it better than the Osmuntum's Fang, though? Oh, I can't even see. Oh, 460. Wait, is that right? No, that's probably not right. I can't see when I got the Fang, unfortunately. It doesn't show. Oh, you know what? I might not have gone the first blade piece at 125. Because right now, My actual Araxxor KC is 1238. But in the loot tracker, it says 968. So it's missing 270. Yeah, 270 on the dot. It's missing 270 KC. A clanmate just asked me when I got my Araxxite Fang, if I'm just now getting my Noxious Halberd completed. Well, I did some digging, and I found a screenshot, but unfortunately the screenshot does not actually showcase the actual KC in which I got the Araxxite Fang. However, I do see that in the sidebar for the loot tracker, I was at KC 466 for my Araxxite Fang. But we know that's not entirely accurate because as of right now, my actual Araxxor KC is 1237, but my loot tracker is missing precisely. I'm sorry, it's 1238, but my loot tracker is missing precisely 270 KC for whatever reason. Maybe it was just another case where the loot tracker was not working with the boss during our initial release. So I suppose we have to add 270. So our first Noxious Halberd piece, being the blade, was not on KC 125, but in fact it was on 295, if I can do math correctly. And which means this Araxxite Fang was pulled on KC 466 plus 270, 736. So I don't know why I'm doing all this math, because all it means is that I've actually been drier than I thought. It is what it is, though. I don't know what specifics, but in my kills, I prefer it over Fang for solo duo. Interesting. Yeah, I have heard like that the halberd was good there, but I've also been told that the Fang is still better. I don't know. It's been kind of flip flopped on that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I don't really plan on doing Corp right now, so yeah. How long ago did we pull the? I already forgot what the KC was when we pulled the second piece. Yeah, I do want the Ellie eventually, and I'm also missing the Spectral, or the what is the other one called? Is it the Spectral? I have the Arcane. We're missing the Ellie, obviously, the Elysian. That dark blue one. It's Spectral, right? I'm not sure. That's the prayer reducing one, or prayer saving one, rather. No, I'm just gonna write this out. Just so we know like the actual progress of things. Nox blade 125, 270, 395. Fang at 466 plus 270, 736. When was the point? The point we pulled pretty recently. I'm sure I took a screenshot of it, so I can just kind of go through my screenshots real quick. 1156. All right, I kind of just spewed a whole bunch of numbers there, but the final numbers to know: Noxus Blade at 395 KC, the Fang for the Amulet Rancor at 736. We pulled the point at 1156, and the Pommel on 1238. Still need the pet for the White Rancor, but I don't think I'm gonna go for that right now. I need to go get a Void Waker and some other stuff to start working on Grandmaster CAs. All right, well, yeah, my brain is not working. For a second there, I was just about to say, let's go to the Slayer Master and see what our next task is, but we're quite literally in the middle of the task, so do we want to finish the task? I mean, 123 is still going to take like another 3 hours, if not more, I think. Honestly, Rancor S might be something I revisit once I get Radiant Oathplate. That might be something I go after when I get Radiant Oathplate. All right, do we want to finish the Araxxor task at least, or do we want to go straight to the Void Waker grind? We briefly mentioned this earlier, but like it actually happened. We pulled the drop, and now we have to decide what we want to do. What is the drop rate on the pet? It's like 1 in 3,000, right? I think most pets are 1 in 3,000. Some of them are a bit rare, like 1 in 5,000, but this one's 1 in, yeah, 1 in 3,000 or 1 in 1,500 when you're destroying loot. So it's twice as fast when you destroy a loot. In theory, anyways, but the other day we had someone come into the chat and they were talking about them going for the pet at Araxxor, and they did 1,900 destroy loots and still didn't get the pet. Now, see, that's tragic because you go over rate for the pet and you get no loot. I don't know, man. I just don't think I could do that. Oh, okay. Let's put the noxious. Oh, you know what I just did? I didn't even bank the pommel to create a placeholder. In my excitement to make the Noxious Halberd, I didn't even bank the Noxious Point to create a placeholder for this tab I have here, which is mostly raid dupes and other maybe like flex-related items. For example, I have the Metaphite Ornament Kit here. I think I have the Blood Torva thing somewhere in here. I still have my Primordial, Eternals, and Pegasian boots, the Cerberus boots in here, the cloth, and my old Tormented bracelet. I don't know, I'd like to throw random things that might be a little bit notable in this tab. As you can see here, we have the point and the blade, but we don't have the pommel anymore. I'll try to remember when I get a second Noxious Halberd one day. And I do still have to continue doing Araxxor at some point in order to get the Rancor S. But for now, we have the Noxious Halberd, and I actually need to figure out where to slot this Noxious Halberd into this main gear tab I have here. We'll sort that out later, though. I have to figure out what we want to do next right now. You know, we could just start doing some raiding, you know, make some GP real quick. What to do, what to do. Let's take a look at our Calvarion tab here. 2,284 Calvarion KC right now with the 13 Vedion KC as well. Looking for the Voidwaker Blade. Should we go do that right now? Or is there another Slayer task we want at the moment? Is there another Slayer task? Oh, I guess if we get a Gargoyles task, we could do the 20. Also, we do need to stack up Zuck tasks for whenever we do the Grandmaster achievements for those. Everything else is pretty much going to be doable off task, though. Alright, where does this Noxious Halberd go? Probably somewhere in this row up here. Alright, you know what? I am gonna go do some Calvarion without a scout, and let's see how often a PK rolls up on me. Where is my Calvarion? Oh, there it is. Do we have any blighted food? Sort of, but not a whole lot. Let's just double check everything. This is the setup though, so we should be fine. Oh, I guess I could parch a Inferno Cape. Wait, surely the Inferno Cape's better than a Myth Cape, right? Even though it's like not a crush thing? Whatever. I do have some parchments in my bank though. Oh man. Okay, I do not want my screen to be flashing 24/7 on this screen. Cave is empty. Alright, now that we are done with the Noxious Halberd grind, I decided that we now have to go after the Voidwaker. So first order of business is we are back at Calvarion. Our starting KC, well, I don't know what my exact starting KC is. We are well into the 2200s though. So we are well overdue for the Void Waker blade that drops here. And then after that, even when we do pull the blade, we have to go for the other two pieces at Ardeo and Spindle respectively. Now typically I do have 416 here, my other account, standing outside as a scout, but currently I'm still at Varlamore thieving, so no scout outside. Let's see how this goes. Am I gonna get a lot of PKers running in or not? Who knows? Wouldn't it be something if we got the blade right now? You know, maybe the floodgates of RNG for items has opened. First KC right here, and I just made the realization I forgot my looting bag, so I suppose I should go get that. I do want some of the loot from here. Have to leave behind those blighted restores, unfortunately. Forgot my looting bag, man. Come on. Oh my god, I put a filter on the Twitch chat for those spam bots that have been coming through that go through the filter. It's working. It's working. That looting bag. Boom. Is there anything in it? Sometimes I forget to clear it out. No, there's nothing in it. Also, with that first KC, we now know our starting KC, 220 or 2,284. The Void Waker Blade is a 1 in 912. Oh, good. My blighted restores are still here. Honestly, I feel like my one-click teleport should be in the top left of my inventory, but I've had it at the bottom left for a while now, and I feel like if I move it now, I'm going to instinctively go for the slot, and then since I moved it, it's not there, and then it's GG. So we'll just keep it where it's at. Oh, terrible dodging. Warp Scepter, no way. Okay, I swear I clicked. You know what? I got punished for saying grats in the chat there. That... It was like one tick of difference right there. Oh, I suppose my YouTube thumbnail and title still talk about Araxxor, huh? I didn't think about that. Yeah, I mean, we've been live for like, what, 2 hours? Probably stay live for a little bit longer and then we'll call it, so. I mean, the bulk of the stream is still going to be Araxxor, so. I think it's okay to leave it as is. This is why sometimes I just have a more generic YouTube title. Because if I move from grind to grind, it's still okay. But now I feel a little bit weird about me having an Araxxor YouTube thumbnail and title, and then someone clicks on and I'm at Calvera. But also, I just realized if I titled my video "Void Waker Grind," that's just like a "Hey, come PK me," like that's just a giant flashing neon sign. Hello, come PK me. I'm in the wildy. Yeah, I kind of want to parch one of my Inferno capes. Parchment. Parch would be the word used here, right? I don't know. Trover parchment. Oh, it's 1 health. I thought it was gonna phase. There you go. Magic logs. It's weird. I already forgot so many things about Mocha. Like, I don't know what my inventory setup looks like. I don't know how many prayer pots I brought. Like, the clan's talking about that right now. How many did I bring? I think 4? 4 sounds right. Or did I bring more than that? More magic logs. I actually do need these. The other account's currently using magic logs for birdhouses. Oh, we're not potted. I've never, you know, clanmates are talking about people offing them whenever the people realize they're Iron Man or something. That has never once happened to me. Not once. Maybe it's because I'm like talking trash to them while running away. You know, that might be it. That just might be a factor. I mean, to be fair, I don't always do that though. Most of the time, I don't even say anything. But usually when I do say something, I'm just like, can you stop wasting our time? I'm literally flicking overheads and I'm like, you're not gonna kill me. Move on with your day, please. Oh, one more. Oh, terrible clicks. Dragon Bones. The thing about this, though, is that without a scout, if someone comes in, I might be a little bit more antsy to just click teleport right away, but what if it's just a bot, you know? No, that'd be a waste of time. Even more so. TPing out when I didn't have to. Death runes. You know, once we have the Voidwaker blade here, we are gonna be green-logged because we already have the pet. We have the Skull of Edion. And we have plenty of dragon pickaxes and dragon two-hands. We just need the blade. I really need to do the easy clue grind for a ham joint for Fasani's, but honestly, I'm procrastinating that grind. Like, I'd rather go for the Void Waker than do easy clues. And to be honest, that ham joint is much, much less of a required thing than the Hally and the Void Waker blade. Completely different things. Zamy Wines. Oh, and Blighted Cromwells. I didn't even see that. I'll take the food for sure, though. Restore situation's running a little low here. Hopefully we get a drop soon. Well, I mean, we still got a decent amount, but to be comfortable out here. Although we don't have room. Renar weeds. That's actually very nice. Oh, more blighted Quran ones. I'm actually gonna chuck those all into the looting bag. That does take up a lot of the inventory slots in there, but for the bag slots, but I do want it. The thing about all the blighted food we get is we often use them while we're out here as we get them, so never really have a stock of them in the bank. I wonder how many blighted Quran ones you get, for example, if you redeem them through the LMS points. I know it's in the shop. Some sort of blighted food anyways. Just took a lot of damage there. Oh, terrible. Some coins. Dude, don't take my shit. See, that seemed like a real player. But does he just not have the KC to peek the cave or what? Which I think is an incredibly dumb thing, by the way. Why do you need KC to peek to see if anybody's in here? It's just another one of those like dumb wildy things where like oh yeah, you know, you don't know if there's anybody in here, and if you jump in, you might get PK'd, or vice versa. Same thing with the teleport delay. For one thing, it existing, and secondly, the ability to remove the teleport delay just because you do a diary. Like what? You know? What? Is our bag full? Oh, I thought it was full for a second there. Where's the other one? There we go. Blood runes. I'll take those. I probably need to get back to doing some blood rune crafting, especially since I recently recharged my scythe. What are Twitcher's gloves? Might be playing some Battlefield 6 soon. Honestly, I'd be very tempted to get the game. Seems very fun, but I'm also a little afraid it's just one of those things like you guys ever buy a game, you play it a tiny bit and then just never touch it again? Honestly feels kind of bad. Calveron's a pretty low intensity and chill thing to do, so we've just been racking up the KC. Completely missed the little milestone there of 2300 KC. I suppose it's not all that interesting though, as we still don't have the Void Waker Blade. There's no way I'm gonna go 3 times dry, right? You know, it's very unlikely to go 3 times dry on anything. It can happen though, and it definitely has happened to me before at other bosses, but surely not a wildy boss, right? Surely. More food. Alright, I think, honestly, after I finish up this trip, maybe even a little earlier, we'll just see, depending on time. Probably gonna have to call it there. I'm trying to stream pretty regularly, but also, just like balancing out my time, I suppose. I know during the Mocha release, we were doing like multiple, like insane hours a day, 10 plus hours a day, but I don't think that's like a consistent thing for us to do. And okay, my cat just barfed in my room. One of my two cats. That might just be a sign to call it because I gotta go clean that up. Ugh. All right, let's finish this KC. I'm gonna call it there after this. Here comes my Void Waker Blade, and then I gotta go clean that up. Come on. Rune pickaxe, classic. All right, let's get out of here. But yeah, 2302 KC at Calvarion. I don't know how many we did. Probably not too many right there. But I am going to call it here. We got our Noxious Halberd completed, which was our goal for today. Yeah, we have been live for... How long have we been live for? 2 hours? You know, that's pretty solid. Like, I want to go for 3 ideally, but if we just boot up the stream a little bit earlier, that'd be easier to do. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to call it. Take it easy, have a good one, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace. You guys can blame my cat for the stream ending earlier, honestly.